The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
The Sam Kerr thing, right? So that's happening, and we're all watching this court case, and they are trying to illuminate by the fact that what Sam did was horrendous. But yet I've seen the footage of Sam in the police station explaining herself and, calling someone white and dumb to me. I don't think racism works in reverse, to be honest, when you come from the privilege.
I mean, look, it's not ideal, but I understand what she was saying.
But my thing with it is, I don't think it was that shocking. I don't think what happened was that shocking.
And that police officer, I find it hard to believe that is the most offensive thing that's ever been.
And I was trying to explain to you, Sean, this morning, because men have to put this through a filter. And here's the deal. So someone's thrown up in the taxi. They've offered to pay for it, but the taxi driver has asked for way more money, and we're talking hundreds of pounds to clean up some vomit. Like, come on. So then he's locked the doors and trapped them in there. Now, that is the point where a woman doesn't know if she's going to survive, if she feels this pressure. And then she's suddenly turning around going, wait there, is this the part in my story where I should have fought for my life to get out? That's what flashes through women's brains in these situations where it doesn't happen with guys.
And in that, at that time, a girl had been abducted and murdered by a police officer. And so everybody was very on edge. That was a massive story. There were marches about the safety of women. So that you've got to add that into the context of it as well. And so I don't think her behaviour is ideal.
No, it was strong.
You can understand how you could get to that point where they kicked out the window because they were panicking so much because they were being essentially held hostage by this cab driver saying, you have to give us more money, and had locked the doors and wouldn't let them out.
're not going to hear from the cab driver because they're unable to follow that person down.
But also he's not on trial.
No,
because this is not about the dumb white comment.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. The police officer was saying that he was belittled, is one word that they used, and obviously the behaviour really upset them. I'm not sure if it did. You see his talking the way he was talking, and getting back to your point though, Nat, and it's not ideal, right? No. Because she was clearly hammered from a great night out, which we've all been there. Yeah. And it's just an interesting situation. Well, I think she's going to get a serious fine, in my opinion. This is why it's going to work. And Football Federation Australia probably say you can't be captain doing this kind of stuff.
On the knuckles kind of stuff.
So, by the way, I don't think you can be calling people white. That's got nothing to do with anything. You can be,
Oh no, you shouldn't be calling anyone.
And I don't think it's right to say
if
either way.
If someone was to call me white something, I go, well, if someone say white and dumb, I go, ding ding.
I think you can call people on their white privilege, 100%.
Yes.
And I think that's essentially probably what she was, I don't want to speak for her, but what she was attempting to do, but did it badly.
Yeah, and going, you're dumb white, and going, like,
you don't understand the situation because you can't see it from my point of view, is what she was attempting to say.
Absolutely,
but she didn't
and
say
you're right.
well.
You're right on what you're saying. From my point of view.
So when me and Marlene were over in Kuala Lumpur one time for a little trip that we took together, it was right in the thick of the illegal DVD situation. Remember when we'd all get like,
how exciting!
I go overseas and come back with all the new movies that were filmed in a cinema next to someone eating loud chips.
You can see the back of someone's head.
So we're walking around, we're thinking, what if we can get any DVDs? And then suddenly this guy pops out of this laneway and goes, are you looking for DVDs? And we went, yeah. And he goes, follow me. And we did. And we went downstairs and then down more stairs and down more stairs into the pit of the earth. And we're going, as we're walking down, we're looking at each other like, oh, should we be doing this? And as we go down there, then we hit a corridor, right? Flickering light, pipes, leaking water. You got it? Walking down
there.
With
a rat scurrying around.
Rat scurrying around. So a human skull. And as we're walking down there, there's a metal door, right? A metal door with the big bolts on there, and then it's got like the little window on there, and then suddenly the window slides. He goes and bangs it, and then the window slides back, and then they look at us, look at all of us, and then close the window. And me and Mum are going,
there's an illegal card game going on.
You know those conversations without talking? We're looking at each other like, should we?
Did you push Marlene in and go, take her first?
Straight away, we haven't seen her since. So we've opened up the door, and then suddenly the door's open, and there's like all these trestle tables with like thousands of DVDs on there, and we saw a few other, Caucasian people in there as well.
Yes, but Nathan, how long have they been there?
No, they're right. They're carving like, lines on the wall. Lines on the wall of how long they've been in there. But then that door closed as well, and then we're in there. We're talking to these people, and they were like, we felt scared until there were more of you in there because we didn't know if we were going to be held by ransom.
You all just followed a rando off the street.
Because think about that, right? That guy could have said, buy some DVDs. No, there's nothing here for us. Yes. No, you buy, you give us money, or else you're not leaving. Yes. That Greek restaurant, Oh, those series of Greek restaurants.
Well, there's one in particular in
They
Mykonos.
charge you like $380 for a milkshake, and then suddenly you say, I'm not paying. And then the waiters come and hold you out the back. Being held hostage.
Yes.
The cops got me once in Bali.
Extortion.
What?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because I wasn't wearing a helmet on a bike.
Yeah.
Give it
So
to
what
the
happened?
kids. Oh, they pull you over. This guy pulled me over, and then he basically made me sit on the ground for ages, and he was getting in me grill. And in the end, I
just wanted some money.
He wanted some money, so I had to pay him. And then I was on my way with no helmet still, which is not good.
So he let you go.
It's not like a helmet's going to magically appear if you haven't been wearing it.
So like you're fine for her, and then you gave him the money. He goes, okay, you're fine to go.
Yes.
But another time we were coming back, and I went absolutely, and it takes me back to Sam's situation, because I'd had 1,000 beers, and we got back, and me and Megan took 2 cabs because there was so many of us, and I went, and anyway, I got back, and she was with Cooper and Sonny in the car, and she got lost, or the taxi driver got lost at the time.
Yes.
But she didn't know that he got lost.
No.
He was, Sean, we're going the wrong way, and we're going out here to the Sunset Road and all this kind of stuff. So I said, put the speaker on, and I'm going ballistic. Bring my family home and all this stuff.
Oh, really?
I have a very particular set of skills.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Did you maybe ask if there's another family you prefer them to bring back?
Yeah, but I went really off my head, and eventually they got back, and they were lost for quite some time.
Yeah,
They
wow.
got back, and when this guy pulled up, I went right over the top, but the security guards were right in there, and then they started speaking Balinese and calmed me down, but also calmed him down. In the end, I had to apologise because he was really upset.
Did you say
he'd take these
Did
people?
you say don't take it personally?
That's what Sean does. If Sean's screaming at you, if he says don't take it personally, then don't take it personally.
But also, if he says don't take this personally, brace yourself because it's about to unload.
It's coming.
Okay, we want to talk about these situations, whether it be like you're being held hostage for money or something that we can't even
Extorted for it a bit,
comprehend.
yeah.
Can't comprehend. We want to know: have you been held against your will for some reason or not? And how terrifying was it?
Yes.
What was the situation? How did you get out? Are you still there?
One time I was going to Hoi An in Vietnam, which I've been
you're
there
gonna
several
get some
times
outfits
now.
made. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So this is, I think, the first time I went there on my own. A friend was coming to meet me. At the airport, they say what you should do is book a taxi through the airport, not take your chances out on the street because they're the dodgy ones, right? So you pay a set fare to get to Hoi An. It was, I don't know, maybe $15 at the time. So I paid my $15. You walk out, you've got your little piece of paper and you hand it to the driver and he drives you to Hoi An. He asked me which hotel I was going to. I told him, and then off we went, and it's about a half hour, and we drove, and he drove me, and then he pulls up suddenly. I'm like, this is weird. He pulls up at the Welcome to Hoi An sign, which is well and truly on the outskirts of town, and says,
Get out. Maybe the town had had a discussion, Natalie.
And I'm saying, no, hotel. And he goes, no, you pay more. I've delivered you to Hoi An.
Now you need to.
There's the sign. And it cost me the same amount again to go the 10-minute drive to the
to be
hotel.
honest, that's very clever.
Mate,
That's
he
very
got you on the
clever.
technicality.
You know what I do
and what
now?
are you going to do?
I just organise it through the hotel.
Yeah.
It's literally like $5 more. And you go, that's worth it.
Yeah.
For sure.
We are seeing if you have been held hostage in whatever way. Hi, Di.
Hey, how are you guys going?
Good,
Great,
Di.
Di. Okay, talk us through it. What happened?
So my story is almost similar to yours, Nat.
Yes.
I had backpacked through Europe and America, and I'd gone to visit a friend who was living in Sacramento at the time.
Yep.
Went out, spent a couple of days, came back on the train, and got to the train station late at night. It might have been 11:30 at night. So no buses left to take me back into the city to go to my hotel. So just me there with my backpack, looking obviously like a lost Australian.
Yeah.
And this guy comes in and he goes, look, I've got a private car. You're not going to get a bus at this time. I'll take you to your hotel. And I thought, great, fabulous. We worked out $30, no problem. I was pretty happy with that. We're driving along, chat. We get about a block from the hotel and he goes, look, this road is one big one-way loop. Do you mind if I just drop you off at the corner? You can see the door of your taxi, from your hotel from here. And I said, yeah, sure, that'd be great, no problem. And he goes, so that's $100. And I said, hang on, we said 30 at the train station.
Yes.
And he goes, no, this is not a cab, this is a fancy car. And I went, no. And I'm a bit, abrupt at times. So I said, no, I'm giving you $30. That's it, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, every lock in the car door went down.
that's
It was like that
fine.
moment of click.
No.
And I'm like, oh, my God, this is how I die. They're going to find my body dumped somewhere.
Yes.
They're going to be like a total panic mode.
Yep.
Anyway, I obviously lost my shit and said, well, if you're going to charge me $100, you can drop me at the front door, mate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I made him do a whole block. He dropped me at the front door, grabbed my backpack, threw the $100 on the front seat and ran.
So my thing with this
Wow.
is, right, and I know we're in different
that's
countries
scary,
and
man.
stuff like that, but say here in Australia, if someone's to do that, if
Yes.
you want, and lock the doors, that moment is illegal, isn't it?
I would think so.
It would have to be. You cannot lock your doors
Restrain
and
people.
restrain
Yeah.
somebody, even if they do.
See, that's the thing.
No, if they've done a crime, this is weird. If they've done an actual crime, right? If they've ripped you off, but if it's you extorting money from them and they do that straight away, it couldn't happen here in Australia.
No, everybody's
I mean, I
on it.
bet it does, though.
Yeah.
But then why
Yeah.
didn't you report it and why wouldn't it be on the news?
I
Because they
remember.
don't do
Remember
that.
one time we had a work do. I reported it to the taxi guys. They actually rang. I told a story about
Yes.
getting pulled up because this guy he was extorting money out of me.
Yeah. So they
charged me
they
that.
might
This
not
is
put
gonna-
the
this is
meter
what it's
on or
gonna cost.
something.
Yeah, but he didn't lock the doors on you or anything, didn't he? He didn't restrain you
No.
because you've got big muscles and you
Yeah,
could, like,
you-
rip the
Yeah.
car
I
open
mean,
with your little
obviously he
finger.
was shaking in his
I know,
boots.
you can like
But
blink
the
and the
other
car
thing
will
is,
fall apart.
when you're in Di's situation where your luggage is in the boot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're
like,
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to pay the money.
Yeah. Or you kiss your
I know,
bags
you've got
goodbye.
a new Uniqlo jacket in there.
Oh,
good one
thanks,
too.
Di.
It's nice.
Natasha's in
What colour?
Gosnells. Hello.
All the colours.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. What happened? Did you get extorted slightly, did you, Tash?
Yeah, so it was my first time in Bali, and my husband was getting a tattoo, so I thought I'd go for a walk to get my hair done.
It's the perfect Bali scenario.
So where did you get Natasha tattooed?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so I was going down to get my hair braided, and these ladies were just, I hit up these ladies, and they said, oh, yeah, we'll do it for this much. Basically, they walked me down this alleyway.
we shouldn't go down alleyways, everyone.
I
Keep
know.
going. Yep.
I know. It happened so quickly, and then they put me in this room, like, it wasn't that big.
Yeah.
They tried grabbing my bag, and I was like, well, no, you're not having my bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then basically they did my hair, and I'm trying to get in contact with my husband, but he was getting his tattoo, so he didn't even have his phone on him.
Yeah.
And then basically they said, well, you give me this much. If you don't give me this much, we're not going to let you go. So basically I ended up paying them because I was scared. I was like, oh, well,
course.
just have it. And then, yeah, basically they let me out. But I was like, I just want to leave. Just literally let me go.
But
That's
Tash,
so
did you get
scary,
your hair
yeah.
braided or not?
Yeah.
Okay,
With the
Yeah, I
beads?
did.
With the beads?
Yeah.
Bloody, that hurt.
Yeah.
I remember getting that done because all the boys want to get it done too, and none of the boys had long enough
boys.
hair. Back in the day, it was all the boys would have it done, and you'd have your little short boy hair with a bead up the top, and it would. But how much did that hurt, Sean?
I didn't get it done.
Didn't you?
But I agree with you. I agree
oh,
with
it
you.
hurt so much.
Natasha getting away with her life there because
Yes.
you just think you're gone.
I know.
or they
that's
could just
so
cut your hair
scary.
off or something like that.
Yeah.
Susan's indoors. Well, morning, Suze. Susan?
Hey, Susan.
Oh, hello.
Hi, it's okay.
Yeah, hi,
Hey,
Suze.
mate.
Okay, talk to us. What happened?
I was hitchhiking through Africa when I was a little bit younger.
Oh, that sounds safe.
that's
That
good.
sounds safe.
Hey,
No bad decisions there.
Susan, when I went to South Africa twice, every single time we got told, do not do this. Don't walk out in the streets by yourself. You're going to get mugged.
And you're hitchhiking.
What age were you?
I was 22.
And what did your parents say when you said you wanted to go do this?
Well, Mum thought I wouldn't go because I'd have to get a lot of injections, and I hate needles.
Yeah.
But I was so determined to
Bloody
see an
malaria.
elephant in its natural surroundings. I just went, no, I'll go.
Fair enough. All right, Sue. So you're hitchhiking in Africa. What happened?
So we're in Kenya, and we're in a place called Nakuru. That's where you go to see all the flamingos and things like that. And there was an election in Kenya, and so everybody kept asking us who we're going to vote for. And like we're Europeans, so we're called Mzungus. And I'm like, oh no, Mzungu, I don't need to vote. And they're like, you need to vote. And I'm like, no, we don't need to. Anyway, so my friend and I were just walking down the street back to where we were staying, and a police car pulled over.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, maybe we're not supposed to be walking alone. And anyway, they pulled over and they're like, Mzungu. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, get
It's
in
so
the car.
funny because we know someone.
Yes, well,
Jess
10
Mzungu.
Mzungu. Yeah.
We know Jess as well. So anyway, keep going. Yep.
So they're like, oh, Mzungu, get in the back of the paddy wagon. And I'm like, no. they're like, who are you voting for? And I'm like, oh, once again, we don't need to vote.
Yes,
no.
we don't
And
live
I'm
here.
starting to get a little bit of poo in my pants.
Yeah, of course.
And they're like, get in the back. I'm like, no.
What?
And my friend's going, I think we better get in. And I'm like,
No.
I am not getting in the back of that. And they're like, who are you voting for? You've got to vote. You've got to tell us who you're voting for. And we're like,
Why do they
no.
think you were local?
I don't know the colour of our skin.
It's weird.
Yeah, but
weird.
Australian accents.
Yeah, anyway, keep going, yeah.
And then a lot of these Africans, like near where we were yelling out, do not get in, do not get in. They are fake. They are fake. They will kill you. Do not get in. And my friend's like, I don't know who to believe. And I'm like, just keep walking.
Believe the locals.
And they stood out in front of us and they're like, with guns, you're not walking.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, fuck. Mum's right.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, Mum was right.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Fortunately, our tour guide turned up and just said, get in the car
Oh, my God.
What, so the guys are standing there with guns and your tour guides intervened. Did he fear for his life with these guys?
No, because he knew who they were.
So they all show and they intimidate tourists, of course, with guns, because we don't have people walking around with guns, and that's so shocking to us. And they're posing as police, and you would ask questions.
Of course.
So they say so they're more bark than bite, but you don't know that. Is that right?
You don't know that.
Okay.
So when we said to him, what would have happened if we would have got in?
Yeah.
They said they would have taken us away, raped us, and killed us.
Oh, but it is more. It is a lot of bark and bite. That is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why. And that there is the reason why Sam, I think, reacted that way, because you don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, that's right.
Not saying that would happen.
No.
But at that moment where you feel like this could be it for me, especially for a female with a man in that situation.
Because occasionally it is.
It is.
That's right. Not always, obviously. Not always, but you don't know the difference until it's too late.
Wow. Yeah, what did that do to your holiday then after that?
Just put it to one side and keep talking.
Well, you know why? Because it's so expensive. You've already paid for everything.
Well, you're 22. You're like, oh, yeah.
I love your attitude to life, Suze. Well done.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
I have never been to a Pilates class. There, I've said it.
Is that why you think there's a water feature?
I feel like this is it. Ready? There's a gong. There's like mats. There's wall to wall Lululemon.
There is wall to wall Lululemon. I can confirm.
Do you know what a reformer is?
Reformer.
Oh, it's a reformer. You know, Daddy's know it's going to play. A licky boom boom down.
So that's the equipment. So it's like this contraption with all.
Oh, it's like a
sliding bits and pieces.
It's like a thing that looks like it does a pap smear and a brain scan at the same thing.
Pretty much.
That's all of it.
I got to say, when I started doing, I was going to have surgery on my hips, and when I started doing Pilates, this was like 4 or 5 years ago.
It really opened up your pelvic region.
Yes, and now his hips don't lie.
And hips don't lie.
Sometimes I have to say, sometimes your pelvic region is too open.
I've been told that a
Megan
lot.
said.
So I started clinical Pilates, and it saved me from my injuries. It's great for core strength, obviously, and all the glute work that you need to do to be able to keep yourself
paid
strong.
tribute to his Pilates instructor because it actually turned his body around enough to win a Brownlow.
Well,
So-
Shaun,
It is picked up enormously, Nate. The amount of people doing it is huge.
Well, I just want to say I'm glad that you found your truth. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you found something special that works for you, but you're upsetting a lot of people. And they're women. There is an American content creator.
That's nothing to do with Pilates, though.
She has come out and said that one particular man spoiled her hot yoga class recently by doing push-ups before the class started and making unnecessary noises. She told her, said her class was meant to be zen, quiet and peaceful.
So this is yoga, not Pilates,
and urged men to stop, Shaun, this is you. Stop taking up more space than they already naturally do.
I know, but they're bigger fellas.
No. Why can't you be seen and not heard, she said. We all secretly hate you.
So she was doing hot yoga.
Yeah. She goes,
what was she saying? That he was grunting
doing push-ups. I think probably bringing a masculine energy into a somewhat calm space. She said, men do not belong in hot yoga or Pilates. They are as loud as F and never make the space feel safer. Another person said they always need to be heard. Another one said they also take up so much room, like move over, sir. Others said the trend of males coming up to Pilates and yoga classes drives them nuts and they can't even keep up.
They can't even keep it. Yeah.
There's this one.
A lot of men do struggle with Pilates. Because
Yeah, I think the women are...
Because they think they're going to be strong because, you know, they can lift heavy things, and then they get into Pilates and realise that Pilates actually works the deep muscles you know, that then the stabilising muscles and the postural muscles that they're not used to working, and they really struggle with it, right?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Nathan, when I was going to Pilates all the time, the people who'd put me through my paces would they would take it to the next level all the time and see how much they could test me.
They would be pushing you,
And I would make a lot of noises, and more importantly, more importantly, I would sweat like an absolute demon.
So this is to you. This is to you. Had to stop going to morning hot yoga because a guy was sweating on my mat, and that has never happened to me next to another girl.
You're not going hard enough, fast enough.
So, but also, like, can't they just move their mat slightly further apart?
Yeah,
like,
you can.
That's hot yoga. If you're not sweating,
might be
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So before I'd go, Megan, I went with Megan once, and then since that time, every time I'd go to Pilates, she'd go, "Could you just make sure you're not sweating?" I'm like,
yeah, it's not something
can you just stop making noises? Just make sure, Sean.
The noises you can control if you really concentrate, but sweating is an automatic thing.
You can't do anything better.
It's like, can you stop your skin being that colour right now? Be another colour. We can't control this.
But also the noises are like when the tennis players are grunting, right? You can't just tell them to stop. It's like it's inherent in the movement.
Yeah.
And it means that you're pushing yourself and you're trying really hard.
100%. Yeah,
But why don't the women grunt then?
Another joint with Megan. It was like,
why aren't the women
Because they're just
grunting?
naturally better at it.
Yeah, I know. So like,
because they just float around and they don't push themselves to the next level.
oh right, so they're just there to be seen.
So, Sean, you do clinical Pilates, so that's at a physio where there's max 4. Are there 4 of you?
Yeah, max 4.
So, and what's the average age of the other people doing it?
I reckon most of it was over 50.
Yeah.
I did a lot with 68, 65-year-old women. No wonder I was dominating that class, or thought I was.
It's not meant to be competitive, you know that, right?
Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's see if this is just an article. Let's see if this is happening in real life. We don't want to talk about your Pilates class or your hot yoga, and we want to talk about the men that are in it.
Or regular temperature yoga.
Oh, yeah, regular, yeah. You know, these zen quiet places where, you're supposed to, like, really be in tune with your body and what you're doing, and then a man walks in.
Do the men get a right of reply, or they just have to drop it on the
men bring up as well. If there's something in a class that a woman has done to upset you, or if she's rocking up to something that you love to do, like get like your face shaved at the barber.
I think we need to normalise men going to Pilates.
I think
it's so good for them. It's so good. I used to send patients when I was a car. I sent them to Pilates all the time if they had any sort of a chronic back pain that would respond to treatment, and then their pain had come back again. I'm like, you need to get to Pilates, and they'd look at me like, oh, don't make me go to Pilates.
I'm the biggest fan.
And then they go to Pilates, and it changed their lives.
Yeah, true.
We all just tried to make Nathan touch his toes. No, he's not getting any closer. Your only option now is just to slowly lengthen your arms.
But you guys are saying like
your technique is flawed.
Like you're saying, but what do you mean? That's
there appears to be no flexibility in your hips.
I don't have hip flexibility.
You stand straight up and then try and bend your spine.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Well, you're using your hips. How?
Ask Shakira.
I cannot do it.
All right, let's talk to people about, Pilates and yoga classes and whether it's a place for men to be.
I think I need to go.
Sarah, hello.
Hello, guys. How you going?
Morning, Sarah.
Great, Sarah.
Can you touch your toes, Sarah?
I can, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
of course you
no
can.
need to
Listen to
brag.
her. All right, what are your vibes on guys in Pilates classes?
I think it's pretty funny. I think some of them are very capable, some of them are very not.
Do they fart?
Not from my experience, but I mean, all is possible.
Yeah, because I believe I imagine that women don't, because you're all sharing the space and you like a respectful.
They've probably got better pelvic floor strength than the men. I've had to let a few go.
Yeah, but that's
you let a few go just walking around.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't just slip out, Sean.
So, Sarah, do you find that the male energy is intrusive on your kind of Zen vibe?
I guess you could say that. I guess I just have a funny story from the time I brought my boyfriend to Pilates.
Yeah.
And he just completely embarrassed himself. I do reformer Pilates personally. He's a long, lanky guy. It was an all-girl class. He's the only guy in the class, and he managed to completely make a fool of himself by falling through the machine and completely stuck and not being able to get himself out of it.
Couldn't get himself out of the reformer.
Wedged in the reformer.
Yeah, because all those springs and stuff, Sarah, that you get caught up in.
If you haven't been in the reformer before, I'm pretty sure I might get stuck.
No, it's difficult.
Yeah. Normally they run an introductory class to get you used to the equipment.
Did you help him?
After a while.
I know him. I bye-bye.
Yeah, you just pretend.
Yeah.
I'm not with him.
Yeah, never seen that guy before. Good on you. Thanks, Sarah. Carly's in North Freo. Hello.
Good morning. How are you all?
Carly.
Okay, talk to us about, Zen yoga and Pilates classes and whether men deserve to be there, Kylie.
Oh, yeah, totally. Look, we had a little family holiday at Noosa Lombongan, and I have got my lovely husband. We dragged along with the 3 daughters, and it was a race on the scooters to get there because he's such an alpha A-type personality.
So the race began before the Pilates.
Yes.
Totally. So here we are. We turn up to the old Lululemon-clad mat Pilates class.
Yes.
And lo and behold, I want you to picture when you spray a cockroach with bug spray. So one of the moves, right, he could not do it, and he ends up inverted on his back, flipping around with his legs in the air like a dying cockroach and sweating bullets. And we're just laughing in this Lululemon class, and we almost got kicked out. But anyway, we walk out of the class, and there's dear husband, he cannot touch his toes, going, nailed it. I'm going to be a Pilates instructor.
I'm going to be instructor.
I'm going to be a Pilates. Did he go back?
Hell no.
Yeah.
No, he did not become a Pilates instructor.
Yeah.
Nice spot.
I like his self-assessment, though. In his opinion, he did a great job.
I do have to say, and this isn't about your husband at all, I do have to say I think it would be really great as a mandatory correctional behaviour for misogynists to go to Pilates to learn the fact
bring them
that
down a peg or two.
You may think you're stronger, but you're not.
Yeah.
You may think
Strength
you're
comes
better.
in many different forms.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks, Carly. Paul's in Ardros. Hello.
Good morning. How are you going?
Hey, Paul. Are you a Pilates regular?
Yeah, I love it. I've been doing it for about 4 years.
Yes.
I mean, it's really hard when you first start. People don't realise how difficult it is.
Yeah.
It's sort of a love-hate relationship, but it's great for your back, great for your core. I'm in an office all day. It's a great way to start before work.
You can touch your toes, obviously.
I can't. I've got terrible hamstrings, super tight.
Yeah.
I've never been able to touch my toes that I can remember, but again, it's just a nice exercise. You can do it hard, I guess, if you want to put extra springs on, or you can take it easy. It is female dominant. I mean, a lot of the classes I go to, I'm the only male there, but I'd encourage other guys to do it. I think it's fantastic.
Oh no, guys should do it. But do you feel welcome? Do you sense any? Because I know some men aren't aware.
Yes.
But do you sense the energy changing? Do you sense some side glances? Are they very accepting of you?
No, yeah, I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a lot of chat in a Pilates class. It's not a social type thing. You do talk to people, but you're doing it for yourself. So, yeah, I think so. I think the majority of them are pretty good about it. Yeah. Once they sort of know you're there to exercise and not perv, I guess.
Yeah, you're all there. You're there for business.
We hadn't even put that into the mix, Paul, but sure.
So you don't take your binoculars?
But if you're a young guy, I'd encourage you. I'm a bit old. I'm in my 50s. But if you're a young guy and you want to see pretty girls, then Pilates is the place to
Do
go.
yourself a favour.
Okay. Well, wait there. No, the girls have been great to me. But anyway, any predators are listening.
But also, I mean, predators deserve good spinal health too, Nathan.
Young guys aren't predators.
Oh, how do you go with sweating and all that kind of stuff? Because you're saying that you go hard. Once you're into it, like I was at one stage like you have a dip.
Yeah, you do sweat a bit. Again, it depends on the session because you can pick different sessions. And you need to space it out. Like I do probably 3 times a week. If you do them back to back, you find, and I get a massage probably every month or so just to loosen up the legs, calves, hamstrings, glutes.
Groin area.
Hip flexors, so things get really tight. So, yeah, no, it's good, but it's enjoyable. It's really great for your back and your core and your posture. And I think more guys should do it. I mean, that's all I can say.
No, I'm with you on that, Paul. I'm with you on that.
Are you still an athlete? Are you getting out there and doing other things then? Because it sounds like you are if you're getting massages.
I need to get back into the pool. I used to swim a lot, so I need to do that. I do a bit of walking. I don't particularly like running. Being a swimmer, we generally don't like to run. But again, I'm 56, so probably my athletic days are over a little bit. But sort of more gentle exercises is what I want.
I've got a mate that gets a lot of massages and he doesn't do sport. No. I'm serious.
Well,
and I'm so
like
surprised about these parlours around the place. Like, they're everywhere.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.